Hey, what's up, fam? So today I'm exposing myself. Dun dun dun. No, really, guys, I guess my channel has been growing. I actually almost feel honored the fact that somebody out there tried to expose me. Yep, somebody tried to expose me. I'm quitting YouTube now. I mean, I'm not dealing with that. Alright, no, seriously. So, I've been messaged from some fams that, hey, this guy made this BS video on you, man. You need to check it out. He also made a video on Omar, on Mo Sargi, on Patty of the G Team. It's somebody that's basically trying to attack the fam. Which, you know what, I really don't even care so much about him doing a video on me as I do some of the other people that he's done. You don't, like, mess with our family. Like, it's just kind of messed up. If you know who this person is, don't go show them any views or any love. Don't go show them any hate. I don't need to give them any publicity. They don't barely have any subscribers. And one of two things. They're either trying to do this because they're trying to get a bunch of subscribers, which I don't see how you do that by doing it through hate. Number two, we actually have a feeling we know who this is that's been doing this. I'm not going to get into that right now. There are some things that we can do to try to research it a little bit, which I am in the process of doing. But you know, we don't talk about things that we don't really know about. So it's just a thought of maybe who it could be. But regardless of that, what did he expose me on? I'll tell you exactly what he exposed me on. A couple things. One, I was arrested. I've said this before to people. That's never been a surprise. And what happened was, I owned a computer company. I was actually going out of town to do a trade show. 7 o'clock in the evening, went with my friend. I actually had a girlfriend at the time. Went with her to go out to eat dinner. We had one drink each, went back home, we were good. Well, about midnight I started packing up for the trade show. She was gonna drive me to meet a friend of ours, or a friend of mine, that was gonna go up to Ohio to do, it's called the Ham Radio Festival. So I finished loading up the car. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, this is probably really stupid, but I'm like, man, I feel bad she has to drive me over there and then drive back, and she's sleeping right now, so I have to wake her up. I'm like, I'm gonna go get her some coffee. My dumb self should have made her coffee in her kitchen, which I wasn't thinking of at the time, but I'm like, I'll go to the gas station. There's a gas station right across the way. I took her car. This is when I could see decently, so I could actually drive. I had a driver's license. So I drove over there. It was closed. I had to go to another gas station. Got the coffee, driving back, cop behind me. Okay, wonderful. Follows me for a little bit, turns on his lights. Wonderful. So, comes out, you've been drinking? I told him, I said, I had one drink earlier with dinner. The guy must ask me that same question 20 more times, and I kept telling him, it's been one drink. Well, he gets me out of the car. Now, my eyes are gotten a lot worse since then, but my eyes were not that great then. And he started doing all these eye tests with me, and I told him, listen, bro, my eyes, it's gonna look messed up to you, like when you do your test. He did not want to believe me. I kept trying to tell him. Well, it ends up he arrests me on suspicion of DUI. I said, listen, give me a breathalyzer test. I gotta go do this trade show. I'll prove to you that I wasn't drinking. Well, you know what he tells me? He goes, we gotta do that down at the station. Figures. So I get down to the station. Now, 0.08 is legally drunk. I had to blow it twice. First one, 0.008. Second time, 0.009. For those of you that are not math majors, that is 10% of what it is to be legal and still drive. I was 10% legally drunk. It means I was not drunk at all. I wasn't even buzzed. But I still had to go through the whole process, do mug shots. Then I had to go on arraignment 2 weeks later, plead not guilty, and I didn't get an attorney because like there's nothing to fight here. The public defender even told me, listen, usually it's hard to beat these DUI cases, but in your case it shouldn't be a problem. Call my office in 2 weeks, we'll schedule an appointment, and you know, we'll go over the video. So I call her office in 2 weeks, and guess what happens? She says, oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, your court date was yesterday. I said, wait a minute, you said call your office in 2 weeks. And you know what she told me? She goes, well, they must be running ahead of schedule right now. I said, great, what do I do? Well, you're gonna have to wait till a warrant's issued for you, then you're gonna have to turn yourself in. Great. Now I gotta turn myself in and get another mugshot. All right, great. So, yep, I've been arrested for a suspicion of DUI, had to get another mugshot because the only other reason is for failure to appear. So I'm a real hardened criminal. You expose me, I should run and leave YouTube really quick. But there's more. But there's more. So, and this I really hate talking about because this has been a pain in my side for a while now. But I owned a computer company about 6 or 7 years ago, motorcycle. 6 or 7 years ago, I used to do these trade shows. I'd go all over Jacksonville, Orlando. I'd do them once a month. Like every weekend I was doing a trade show. I sold used computer parts. I would test them, sell them. Even with new computer parts, you're gonna have people return stuff. I mean, you can touch like a motherboard and the static will kill it. Well, I was selling used computer parts. And the thing was, I sold them cheap and I gave a great warranty. I said, you have 90 days, so you come back to any show that I do and I'll, you know, replace it, take care of you. And I did that for years. I sold hundreds, if not thousands of items per show. I did very, very well doing that for a very long time. Well, about 5 years ago, I think maybe it was, around that time, all of a sudden the trade shows stopped. They went out of business, the actual company that put on the trade shows. So I was not able to go around to those places, do what I normally do. And it got worse because online wasn't doing good at the time, the economy was bad, and it basically put me out of business. So I lost like the computer shop that I had too and all this. Well, you know, I guess there were some people that I never went back to those cities. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of people I sold to. So, you know, I feel bad about that, but there was really not much I can do. They stopped the shows, I went out of business. And it wasn't like, you know, a really big deal. Some people actually got a hold of me through email and I took care of them. But some people, they didn't have their receipt. They just always knew they saw me there, you know, whatever it was. So basically, this guy that tried to expose me is basically showing my mugshots, showing message boards from like Ripoff Report and different things from my old business. And if you look on there, all the comments from years ago. And the thing that, this is what I really hate about it the most, was around that time, or right before that time, there was a guy that bought $10,000 worth of computer memory from me. And he actually came in person, saw it, bought it, tested it. He was there for hours, sold it to him as is. He left. A month later, he calls me up, says, hey, the memory worked out really good. Do you have any more? I said, yeah, I got some. I got like maybe $6,000, $7,000 worth left. Great, I'll buy it. Buys it, everything's great. Month later, I look in my account and I got a chargeback for all that, like $14,000 or something. So I'm like, what the heck's going on? I read the report and it says that, oh, I bought all this memory, it didn't work, guy won't refund my money, I shipped it back. Well, funny thing was, nothing ever got shipped back to me. He started messaging me saying, I want all my money back. I'm like, bro, I don't even have the money to give you. But even though I sold it to you as is, if there's defective pieces, I'll just replace them for you. But that wasn't the case, because the guy would like refuse to want to send anything back to get replaced. So I don't know why it didn't work out for him, but he bought it just like the way I bought it. I mean, he even came and tested it in person. I couldn't give him his money back. Well, this guy started threatening me. Then he started contacting my ex-wife, which was my wife at the time, contacting her personal cell phone number. Then he started going on all these ripoffreport.com and this site and this site and this site, putting reports about how I ripped him off. And then it got worse. He started putting my phone number, my address, my kids' names, like completely went psycho. Then I thought it went away after a while, and I went on a job interview. This is only like 3 years ago. I went on a job interview and it went great. Called me back the next day, said they're not hiring me. I said, do you mind if I ask why? And they're like, well, we looked you up online and you're not the kind of person we want working here. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I go and look at this report, same freaking mother-freaking guy, and he's telling people that I do crack, that I abuse my children, that I've stolen stuff from my mother, like just making up just the asinine, most asinine things ever that you've seen. And then there's other comments that start pouring in from underneath it, from fake accounts that he makes, saying, oh yeah, I went to high school with this guy, and yeah, he's a real douchebag. And I look up the name, and there's no person that went to my school with that name. Like, the guy kept making claims up to make me look as bad as possible. And to be honest with you, I actually got a little upset because I had some of you guys, some fans message me that saw this and were like, you need to explain this. And like, I lost respect for you. And you know what, man, like at first I was like, forget it, I'm not gonna make this video. If people don't like, you know, don't know who I am by now and believe things like that, then you know what, that they can go, you know. But after looking through it again, it really makes me look like the worst person on the face of this planet. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's kind of hurtful, a lot of the things that I've seen in there, but it's just, you know, it's something that happened to me, and now that I'm getting known on YouTube, I guess people can easily search who I am, do a little investigation, and bam, they're pulling up stuff from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago that happened, which, don't believe everything that you read online, guys. It's not always what it says. I mean, I've seen things on people that just are asinine. And the crazy thing is, these websites, what they do is you post on there, and then there's mirror sites, which basically copy exactly what they have and put it on their site. Now it looks like there's 10 different websites that all posted only because somebody posted something on one page. Now, I tried to contact him years ago to get this taken off, and they wanted thousands of dollars to take it down, like literally $4,000 or $5,000, and they would take it down for me. Other than that, I can contact a company that tries to bury things in ads, and that costs thousands of dollars. And I was like, forget it. You know, it's already caused me enough problem with looking for a job. Now it's coming up in YouTube. You know what, man? I don't care. I don't care, man. I'm not a perfect person, and you know, I know you guys know you're not perfect people, but when somebody says something about somebody that's straight up just false, it's just slanderous. I mean, like, I'm a crack addict, I abuse my kids. You guys know I love my kids. You guys know I love my mother. I mean, you know I have a great relationship with my mother. If I steal from her, none of it adds up. I don't even really feel like I need to explain this, guys. But then when people start commenting on some of my stuff and say, oh, well, this is the kind of person that Omar does videos with, that really upsets me. That really makes me mad. I mean, I will end my YouTube channel today, like today or tomorrow, if I thought it was gonna hurt Omar's channel. So, you know, it is what it is, guys. If they want to try to expose whatever, let them expose it. I ain't hiding from nothing. I ain't worried, and I ain't hiding from nothing. But thank you guys for the support, the love that you gave me. I mean, I even seen comments where people are like, oh, James is like conning people for donations. First of all, let me tell you something. I never asked anybody for no dang donations, okay? Like, it's fantastic that some people want to do that, but listen, don't donate to me. You know, if anybody feels like that, just don't. I don't need that in my life. I don't need it. That's not the point of why I did YouTube. I was fine putting up one video a week for you guys. It's a lot less work for me. I do it that way, and you know, I don't make money on YouTube. I mean, people think I do, but I make like between $2 and $10 on a video that I post. And that's after a month of the video being up. And it takes me hours to edit it, hours to film it. It takes sometimes money to film it. So I'm paying to be on YouTube right now. Now, some people have donated to me. I think over the last few months they started doing these donations. I've gotten over $1,000 in donations, maybe like $1,200. But I used, well, first of all, half of it I haven't got yet from YouTube. But the other half that people donated to my PayPal account, like I said to you guys, that goes to this channel. It goes to trying to get better equipment, trying to edit better, try to get stuff to edit with. You know, you guys know I just got this camera, which is great. You know, to go on this trip. Omar wants to go on a Tennessee trip with me. I mean, like, I wouldn't do that stuff if you guys didn't want it, and you guys do because you've done that. But I don't want somebody to feel like, I don't know, man, just with all this stuff, I almost just don't like want to disable the donations or something, because if that's how people feel, then I don't know. I'm not about that. So, alright, anyways, check out my video later, guys. It'll be up later today. Excuse me, I just did this all in one clip, no edits. I love you guys. We'll see you later. Do you still love me?